What's up, y'all? It's Tisha the Diva, and this is for my ladies. This is my podcast where amazing things happen and we get to talk, discuss, and celebrate real women of color. This is for my ladies is just for you. This podcast is a place where I get to highlight not only my life dreams and goals, but yours too. I believe I was called to create a platform for myself to express not only my thoughts, but those of other women that's unfiltered and untamed. I plan to talk and discuss topics that interest me and other women. I want my audience to be engaged and aware, so any topics, email them to me at tishadediva@gmail.com.
What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another season and another episode of This is for my ladies. I am your host, Tisha the Diva, and I just want to welcome you all to This is for my ladies podcast. I am so excited to have you all here just listening to the sounds of my voice. And, just sharing just my thoughts and just, centered just around life, women, centered around things that I personally go through, that I personally experience. Some thoughts that are my own and some thoughts that are others that definitely probably have sparked different ideas, different feelings, different emotions. And then I just get up here and come on my podcast and just talk about it. I, am a very vulnerable person, very emotional person. I am a Cancer sun, Taurus rising, and Sagittarius moon with a Leo Venus and Mars and Cancer and Mercury and all that stuff. And I could just get all into that. But that's just to say, welcome, you guys. Welcome to This is for my ladies podcast. And again, I am Tisha the Diva. And I just want to thank all my listeners for tuning in to 94 episodes already. I am super excited about that. I've been doing my podcast for 2 years. And anybody that has been following This is for my ladies from the beginning, or even, got midway and all that stuff or whatever, this has been a journey for me. This have definitely been a journey of mine, and just getting to figure out, like what my passions are, and, what is it that I want to do, and what is it that I want to create. And I started This is for my ladies literally 2 years ago from my bedroom in Norfolk, Virginia. I have recently located to California as of July 17th, the day after my 31st birthday. I have never technically lived in another place besides the 5 days that I, air quotes, spent in North Carolina during college, but I came back. So literally after 5 days, and if you do not know the story, my mom found out about these military benefits and was just listen, this is what they offering, these little GI bills, these, y'all know what I'm talking about, the military folks, y'all know. I think I was chapter 34, 30 something, y'all know, for my military folks. But and she was just you're going to have to go to school here, in Norfolk, or, anywhere in Virginia that's, not a private institution. And when I got back, class had already started and all that stuff or whatever. I didn't already miss, freshman week and move-in day and all of that stuff or whatever. And TCC was about to start classes, and I went to TCC. I think that's probably the only, if I don't have many regrets, but if I could just do some things over, I probably would have definitely just, went to a 4-year university for still at HBCU, but went to a 4-year institution just right off the bat and not have worried about it. I went to TCC and I got my associates from there, and then I transferred over to Norfolk State. Let me tell y'all about something. Like TCC, they say from here go anywhere. Like, listen, from here go anywhere, but you probably won't like get all your credits. Like, that's what they probably need to go ahead and just say, because all my credits did not roll over. So instead of going in as a junior, I went back in as a sophomore, which is absolutely totally fine, because I was still able to just meet some really, really dope people at Norfolk State. Shout out to Norfolk State. That is, my alma mater. I am an alumna of Norfolk State University in Norfolk, Virginia, and HBCU. Can we just give it up for the HBCUs? Like, clap for HBCUs. If you're an HBCU graduate, like, just kudos to you, because I just see, so many just, and predominantly, colored people, African American men and women that come from HBCUs and are just doing the damn thing. And I just want to say, you all, like, I am extremely, extremely proud of you. I know, like, it has been a coronavirus, it has been a pandemic, it has been, like, a mess. And I know a lot of people who like love homecomings, just that whole experience of not being able to go to homecoming and just network and just feel alive and just, recant those memories of just moments and experiences that literally has shaped you into the professional you are today. So, like, my heart goes out to you all. And not trying to be like a party pooper or rain on anybody's parade. Homecoming is really, for real, never like really been my thing. And I'll go out there and it's cool and all that stuff. But I've never been the type of person that got like super duper hyped, like, behind homecoming. And I feel like maybe it's because, and I did enjoy, college, from leaving TCC and going to Norfolk State. I did, get involved as much as I could to make the experience, as memorable to me as I could. But, again, just one of those things, wishing that I probably would have done. Not wanting, not feeling like so much of an adult and not, wanting to stay on campus. I probably should have stayed on campus, even if legit, you guys, I literally pretty much all my life have lived 2 blocks from my college, like Norfolk State. And I probably still should have stayed on campus, even though it was literally in the same city, just to really, really get that college experience and just, just again, more memorable, more enjoyable. I probably would be sad, crying, putting up memes every homecoming season, just for the simple fact, like, I really like had a ball, had a blast, all that stuff, whatever. And I enjoyed myself, I enjoyed myself for, what it was. Like, I definitely enjoyed myself, just the experience, the teachers, and, just another thing that I probably, wish I probably could have done over, maybe probably took more internships in college. And I did take a internship. Shout out to my girl, Mika, my sis, like literally like the person who put it in me to do a podcast. She has came on. This is for my ladies. Shout out to my mama, like my OG. She about to have a baby. And like, yes. And I know the snapback about to be crazy, sis. I just love you. So anyway, I started off doing an internship with her, like in 2011, with Lux Labels and Love, that has now changed the name to Love Labels and Love. And yes, and I learned so much from Mika, and I just appreciate, Mika for everything. Like, she is amazing, right, at what she does. That's one of the first. Well, no, I'm not even gonna say first because I definitely seen my mom put the little fixtures and all that stuff and make money enough. So I'm not gonna say first entrepreneur, but like one of the entrepreneurs that I seen actually have a business, actually have a front, actually have an office. Um, and it was amazing to just see her. And that was from 2011 when I met her. I just always seen the hustle and the grind, and I just appreciate her for that. But I probably would have probably done more internships, and like went to New York and came out to California and just did more things or whatever. And that's not me not utilizing all resources. It was just kind of like, damn, if I go to New York, where I'm gonna stay, or how I'm gonna work that out. If I go to California, how I'm gonna work that out. And then just people just in my ear like, well, how are you, instead of like, let's just figure it out. We can do this and do that. We can raise some money. We could do this. We can, it's just like, okay. And that's why another thing, just always working and just not just living, not just leaving, not just going. Those are the things that, I wish I could tell myself. And it was so crazy and funny because like on Facebook, it was in 3 words, what would you tell your 18-year-old self? And mine was, girl, just leave, period. Like, girl, just leave, period. And do the things that I wanted to do. I never really had a lot of fear, but I felt like fear was instilled and placed in me out of protection from, family and friends, and just, people just not wanting you to get hurt, or seeing you hurt, or seeing you down. So, people will project their fears and their thoughts and make it seem like, how many of you all like literally had a person be like, well, God told me, and be like, listen, I have a relationship with God, and that's not what he told me. Like, or that's not what the universe or spirit or, the creator or whatever, what have you. That's not what it told me. And my energy and my spirit has moved me to do this. It has called me to experience this because we are individuals that experience individual lives and individual paths. So my experience is not going to be your experience. But that just all to go into, like the things that, you know, our parents or guardians and experiences that they've been through, or things that, they may not have been introduced. Like some people aren't really able to, instill certain things if they haven't been taught. Or, we can go into like the whole Black and the whole financial literacy thing, the Black community and finances. How many people, like, and if you have like kudos to your parents for just knowing and understanding and going through those experiences and pushing and continually to fight and take those stances to make sure that they live a life of financial freedom in some aspect, of their life, to save for college funds, to save for, a rainy day, to, buy houses and to buy those assets and all that stuff or whatever. And we're going to get into that home buying versus rent. And we definitely going to make sure we get into that. But back into the, Black community and the, financial literacy, how many people can really attest and stand up and say that, like they were taught, how to balance checkbooks and, spending and, saving and, like, entrepreneurship of getting money and creating means of income and, all that stuff. And like maybe you probably seen it in some aspect, but how many people have been taught, from an early age, financial literacy? We probably have been told, save your money, but how? Like how to, okay, you have this much money. You could put this percent, here and save this. You could take this percent and this amount and spend on this. Paying yourself. Okay, you save this much, you pay yourself this much, and you spend this much. Like, so you paying yourself to put back into, your business or whatever you want to do. You taking that money, putting a percentage aside to save that. And then the other, you do whatever you want to do. Like, how many of us been taught that? How many of us have been teaching our children? And it's so funny. Like, shout out to my best friend Shayna, who posted a video of her son, and it was just like realizing, that once you break her son put this, once you start spending your own money, your mama was right. We got food at home. Those are those moments that you just like, yes, like my child is getting it. So like literally, because once I responded, I was just like, yes, like kudos to him just even realizing that, because literally once you break that 20, it's like fucking death. You break a 20 and it's just like you don't have any more money. You don't have a 20 anymore. But anyway, so it's learning and teaching and instilling that, like it's learning and teaching and instilling, it's okay to, not know and go and live and figure it out. What are you good at? What are you passionate about? And can I just say for real, like my passion really is like speaking and talking and entertaining. Like that is my passion. Entertaining, like I entertain myself. And I'm able to entertain others in whatever way to be that light, to be that spotlight in, not only in anybody's lives, but to shine that light on other people in their lives, to lift them up into the light. And that's what people want to feel. They want to feel that warmth. They want to feel that. Like that's, I feel like, is my passion. And I feel like I create different, different ways and avenues to do it. So maybe it's just like, and I might just need to do it more. People be telling me, get on YouTube, do this, do that. And it's just like, now is the time. And that's, I've been, slowly buying little things or whatever so that I can like create that or whatever. But I have the tools to go ahead and start where I'm at. So it's no excuses. Like girl, just leave. Just leave the excuses. Just leave all of that doubt. Leave all of that behind. Girl, just leave. Period. Leave whatever it is. Leave blank space. Girl, just leave him. Girl, just leave this situation. Girl, just leave blank. Girl, just leave you fill in the blank. Period. That's basically, pretty much where I'm at. So if I could tell my 18-year-old self, that, or even, that's probably, like what it would be. But anyway, so, and going back to, Black community and the financial literacy and home ownership and renters. So there was a post on Facebook and it was just like, I wish home buyers, air quote, stop, calling themselves homeowners. I wish homeowners stop calling themselves homeowners when they're still just renting, when they have a mortgage or something like that or whatever. And, like, the stuff is funny to me. I feel like a lot of people were triggered by that, and I don't mean no harm, because I think home ownership, your home buying, because, you still have a mortgage and all that stuff or whatever. But, people was just letting me know, but it's the asset, it's the equities that you get back and all that stuff. Yes, absolutely. You don't get that when you rent or whatever. You probably get a security deposit. You probably get your security deposit back. But anyway, I think home ownership is a beautiful thing. And, whatever title it is, whatever it is, I know some people, and I feel like people are a little bit more sensitive on Facebook than Twitter, because the home buyer, the home ownership, all that stuff, that conversation has been had a million times on Twitter. And people who are actually like home buyers and even home owners, they just say how, like they still sometimes wish that they could rent because, that they don't have to worry about just all the money, excess money that they have to shell out, like tens and thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars on stuff. It was insane. It was a thread, like it was a thread, and the culture is definitely different. It is just definitely different. There definitely is some very sensitive people on Twitter, like definitely, but it's just it's home ownership is beautiful. I love my friends who are homeowners. I love my friends who are home buyers. I love my friends who are renters. I love my friends who are just doing the damn thing and like working to home ownership. I love that. I love that. I think it's an amazing thing. I think it's, something that is great that you can leave and build, generational wealth even through your kids, because, people literally leave their homes behind for their families, and it's that safe haven that if anything happens, this is where you can go. You can always go home. This is where you can go. This is, I think it's beautiful. I think it's an amazing thing. And I think that's pretty much where people, you know, especially my generation and younger, really wants to do, because again, because we didn't learn it and we had to figure it out. We literally had to figure this shit out. And that's what we want to create for, what we leave behind us. Like, here's the map. I didn't have this. Here's the torch. Here it is for you. Like, this is in understanding that, you're, this is a conversation that me and my mom that had to have that literally took our relationship to the next level. And my mom saw me as her property and, like her possession. And, it's like literally, we literally had to grow. I felt like me and my mom had a dysfunctional relationship that I feel like has blossomed, and I truly admire and adore. And I've always loved my mom, not saying I ever hated her, but it was just, we had to grow to this place. And I love the space that we're in. It's amazing. But I had to tell my mom, I was just like, I feel like you think that I'm incompetent of making decisions as an adult and as a woman. Like, granted, I'm going to always be your child, but I am a woman and I am making my own, you know, my own conscious decisions about how I move and navigate in this world. And you have been put here as my guardian, as a guardian, not to hold me possessive and say you're mine. And yes, yes, I was given to you. You was the portal of life that allowed me to experience this life. And look at the thing, and granted, yes, I probably have let you down. I probably, even have let myself down as a human being, as a person. But this is my life that, you gave me my life for me to make the mistakes, to make the corrections, to fix it, to learn those lessons. And yes, and my mom, she'll still be like, but you are my child. And yes, and I thank you, and I and of course, I'm going to hold on to those things that you tell me, to those values, to, my mama said, mama always said, I'm going to hold on to those things. That is not going to leave from me. Like even in the Bible, what it says, like put the word in so that it does not depart from him. I don't know it off the back of my hand and all of that stuff or whatever, but y'all know what I'm talking about. My Bible thumpers, you know what I'm saying. Like hide it behind your heart or something so it don't depart. But y'all know. So, but anyway, and I had to just tell her, like, you were that vessel, and we are all going to make our mistakes, and I have to suffer the consequences. It's like, granted, yes, it may hurt you, but I have to live with that and allow me to experience, those things. And, like, yes, you have been, 20 something before, 30 something before. You've never had a 31-year-old child. You never had a 32-year-old child. Granted, you've been 32, but you never had a 32-year-old child. When you were 32, you were a mother with 3 children. So your focuses and things and priorities, which of course my priorities just need to be of that, like thinking of having a family. But I'm 32 now. I don't know when kids can come. Kids can come anytime. And if they come, am I ready? Nobody is ever ready. Nobody is ever ready. We ain't ready for nothing that really happens. But either way, I do want to teach my children that you always have a choice. I'm going to tell you, do not do this and don't do that. But you have the free will and the choice to do whatever you decide is right in that moment. But I also have to, remind you that there's going to be consequences. There are going to be good consequences for doing the right thing. And there are going to be potential hazardous, dangerous, very bad consequences for not doing the right thing. It could be a beating. It could be you hurting yourself. It could be extraneous as death. It could be anything. It could not be those things, but don't forget that for every action has a reaction. And whatever you put out in this universe, that is against what somebody has strictly told you or forbidden you to do. Like if I told you don't do that and you do it, and I may not find out later on down the line, that action that you did on November 17th, 2020, at 8:31 or whatever time, that action is going to have a reaction for whatever you put out. Don't know when it's going to come. May not come today, may not come tomorrow, may not come next week, may not come next year, may not come into you, but it may come to your children. I think they say something about that in the Bible too. Whatever miss you in this realm, gonna get passed along, baby. So the choice is yours. The choice is yours. So it just goes into like the choices, like the choices that you have to do things, to make your decision. You are free to do whatever you want. The only thing that is limiting you are sometimes your thoughts, and sometimes your thoughts may not even be your thoughts of your own. They have been somebody else's thoughts that they have put into you, and you made those thoughts your own. Anything that you really don't believe about yourself, anything that you really never really felt that I don't believe that, but you start to believe it because somebody told you, please dismiss that. Go back, sit down, write down anything that you felt like somebody have put on you. Like titles and stereotypes and thoughts that weren't your own that people have put on you. And release it. Write it down, get it out, and go burn that piece of paper. Find out the moon that you can do it under. I believe it's the full moon. So whenever the next full moon come up, you can release that. So let's make better choices. And I know that's definitely a word for me, because I do feel like I've made some poor choices in my life. But the choices that I want to make sure that the choices have a greater return on the end. So, girl, just leave, insert whatever have you. Insert your thoughts. But, leave old behaviors. Girl, just leave old habits, old attitudes, old way of thinking. Girl, just leave. Whatever it is, girl, just leave the past behind. Whatever it is. Girl, just leave and make your own choice. You all, that's all I got for you all this week. This is for my ladies. I am Tisha the Diva, and I am out, you all.